How can we express our thoughts with sensitivity? Women may sometimes underestimate the impact of their words, especially when communicating with their spouses. It's crucial to acknowledge the potential harm words can cause and strive to convey the same message with love and understanding. Often, women aim to assist their husbands in conversations, inadvertently leaving them feeling inadequate. Recently, while at a cafe, I overheard a couple discussing finances, and though the woman was sharing her concerns sincerely, the dialogue could easily be interpreted as diminishing, unintentionally affecting her partner's sense of worth. Example of their conversation. What she wanted to explain. She aimed to discuss the necessity of budgeting and reducing expenses due to financial challenges arising from her husband's job. What she said, "It's frustrating that your job doesn't make enough money for our family. I'm constantly thinking about cutting costs and it's stressing me out. What can be done to change this? Help me to understand why this is happening." What he might have heard, judging by the look on his face, "You aren't enough." Despite her sincere attempt to communicate her concerns, the approach she took might have unintentionally conveyed a message of inadequacy to him. What she could have said was, "I genuinely appreciate your commitment to work every day and providing for our family. However, I've been feeling a bit concerned about our finances as it seems we're facing challenges in making ends meet. Is there anything we can work on together to address?" Do you see the difference? In relationships, it's common to inadvertently cause harm with our words, and this can accumulate, affecting the foundation of our marriage. Regular self-reflection on the words we use is crucial, ensuring our words uplift rather than deflect. Why women have the tendency to criticize instead of encourage? The tendency for women to criticize instead of encouraging often stems from men being perceived as passive, prompting women to assume control where they believe their husbands may lack control. This cycle can become entrenched, requiring conscious efforts from both parties to break free, although men are also capable of affecting us negatively with their words or silence. I'll focus on addressing a woman's role today. Now, let's explore some ways you might unknowingly undermine, disrespect, or deeply hurt your husband's sense of manhood and ego through your words. 1. Not saying thank you. Men, whether they let on or not, love to please you. Everything they do it for you. So when you don't show your appreciation when they are doing everything for you, then they start to wonder, why even bother? Anything I do is still not good enough. This is a common frustration of men in relationships. They don't feel appreciated. In their minds, they do everything they can, but the reaction they get says otherwise. What should you do to fix this? Well, talking from experience, you should apologize. I know it's not easy, but it's a place to start. If you feel that you have been doing this to your husband, then don't neglect the fact that you need to say thank you and be grateful for the things he already is successful in. That doesn't mean you should ignore your feelings or never lovingly point him to better himself, but it means that you give God first praise on his actions, pray for him, and thank him for the amazing husband he is. An example could be something as big as thanking him for working and providing for the family, or as little as taking out the trash. Both are just as important to his heart and his sense of purpose. 2. Talking to them as if they were a child. This can sometimes be subtle, but you still do it. Your husband already have a mother, so they don't need another one, even though on many occasions it may seem that way. Men hate it when you act like their moms, but they are sometimes pathetically helpless when it comes to things like laundry or cooking food. All the things their mother did for them, they most likely can't do themselves. Ladies, the only way to stop this from happening to your son is to make him do his own laundry at an appropriate age, or perhaps teach him how to cook. As for your husband, the best you can do is try and word things differently. Don't talk to them in a degrading way. And while you're at it, don't talk to your kids that way either. I am a firm believer that women set the tone for the home's environment as well as the outcome of the day. You have some kind of special power like a superhero, so don't misuse your power. Set a calm and loving tone for your household, not a stressed one. When it comes time for PMS, my advice is to go on an island vacation once a month. 3. Criticize or tell them how they need to be better. I get it, as women you intend to help. But sometimes the help can come across as you're not good enough, like the example I gave at the beginning of the video. So what should you do when they obviously need help, but don't know how to help themselves? Well, there is a way. Depending on the spouse you have been blessed with, there are a few scenarios that come into play. If your husband, for example, is quite persuasive, mix in a little stubbornness. Challenge one another. Both of us. It's so good and healthy to allow one another to do that. I believe that God intended marriage to be that, to make one another. But there are also instances where we don't healthily apply this. It's when good-willed help becomes deflating criticism. That's why you should read What Men Need so that you can better understand how you can challenge your man, but also avoid demeaning him. 4. Not put your trust in their abilities. Every chance you get is important you tell him how amazing he is, how grateful and thankful he is, how proud of him you are. Unfortunately, it's words like that women often neglect to say in the everyday mess of life. But imagine how better your relationship might be, how capable, encouraged, and brave your husband might feel when you rise above and start using kind words. I can't imagine that you want to deflate or disrespect your man intentionally. But sometimes we have to check ourselves to make sure our words are encouraging them so they feel accomplished in providing for their family. Fostering a healthy and respectful relationship with your husband involves mindful communication and considerate actions. By avoiding these 4 things, you're paving the way for a stronger connection and a more harmonious partnership. Remember, open dialogue, empathy, and mutual respect are the cornerstones of a successful and enduring marriage. Here's to cultivating a relationship filled with understanding, love, and enduring happiness.